Let me be honest with you about something most people never want to hear. The reason you feel financially stuck might have nothing to do with how much you earn. It might have everything to do with where that money quietly disappears every single month. And the scariest part is that most of these money drains feel completely normal, because everyone around you is doing the same thing. Today, we are breaking down 12 things that are no longer worth your money in 2026. Some of these will seem obvious, others might genuinely surprise you. But all of them are doing real damage to the average person's financial future right now. We are going to talk about what each one actually cost you, why it used to make sense but no longer does, and how you can redirect that money towards something that actually builds your life. Before we dive in, if you want more content like this, content that helps you understand money more clearly and make smarter decisions, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. We drop videos regularly that can genuinely change how you think about your finances. Alright, let us get into it. Number 1. Food delivery apps. Here's something that sounds small but adds up to a genuinely alarming number by the end of the year. When you order through an app like DoorDash or Uber Eats, you are not paying restaurant prices. You are paying restaurant prices plus a delivery fee, plus a service fee, plus a tip, plus prices that have already been marked up by the restaurant to cover what the platform charges them. Studies have found that the same meal can cost you around 25% more on a delivery app before any of those additional fees are even added. So that $15 meal you are ordering, you are likely paying $22 or more by the time it hits your door. Do that twice a week, and you are spending over $1,500 a year extra just on the convenience of not driving. If you genuinely need delivery in a pinch, absolutely use it. But if it has become your default habit on lazy evenings, that habit alone is quietly costing you the equivalent of a vacation or several months of an investment contribution. Number 2. Buying brand new cars. The average new car in 2026 costs around $48,000. The moment you drive it off the lot, it drops roughly 20% in value. That is nearly $10,000 gone before you have even made your first payment. By the end of the first year, you could be down 25 to 30%. Meanwhile, average monthly car payments have climbed past $700. That is over $8,000 a year flowing out of your pocket for a depreciating asset. Here is what financially smart people do instead. They buy a reliable car that is about 5 years old. At that point, someone else has already absorbed the brutal early depreciation. The car still runs great because modern vehicles are built to last well beyond 150,000 miles with basic upkeep. You can often buy it outright or with a much smaller loan, eliminate that massive monthly payment, and redirect that $8,000 a year toward actual wealth building. Transportation should get you from point A to point B. It should not consume 20% of your income. Number 3. Sit-down restaurants as a habit. Going out for a nice dinner is genuinely one of life's pleasures, and there is nothing wrong with it occasionally. The problem is when it becomes a weekly or twice-weekly habit. In an environment where restaurant prices have climbed around 35% since 2019. A meal for two with drinks at a casual restaurant can easily run $100 now. The markup on drinks alone is extraordinary. A cocktail that costs a restaurant $2 in ingredients gets sold for $14. Restaurants have had to raise prices because their own costs have gone up, but the value you receive has not kept pace with what you are paying. A family dropping $200 a week at restaurants is spending over $10,000 a year on dining out. That same money could fund exceptional home cooking, an emergency fund, and still leave room for a meaningful dinner out once or twice a month. The math just does not balance anymore for the habitual restaurant goer. Number 4. Streaming service stacking. Remember when cutting cable felt like a revolutionary financial move? You were going to pay $8 a month for Netflix and call it done. That era is completely over. Today, a single streaming service can run $15 to $18 monthly, and most people are not subscribed to one. They are subscribed to 4 or 5 simultaneously. Add them up and you are easily crossing $100 a month, which is $1,200 a year. That is more than what cable used to cost. The platforms know exactly what they are doing. They deliberately keep certain shows and movies exclusive to force you to maintain multiple subscriptions. The smarter approach is to treat streaming services like a library rotation. Subscribe to one, watch what you want, cancel, and move to the next one. You access all the same content just on a slightly delayed timeline, and your monthly cost drops from $75 to about $15. Number 5. Fast food. This one surprises a lot of people because fast food used to be the budget option. That is no longer true. A basic combo meal at most major chains now runs between $12 and $15. Fast food prices have increased by more than 50% since 2019. What was once the cheap meal for people watching their spending is now priced comparably to cooking a genuinely nutritious meal at home. The value proposition used to be that fast food was affordable and fast. Now it is just fast, and it is still not great for you. Someone grabbing fast food a few times a week is easily spending $3,000 to $5,000 a year on meals that leave them feeling worse than home cooking would. Learning 10 to 15 simple meals you can cook in under 20 minutes completely changes this equation. Number 6. The latest generation of technology. A brand new flagship smartphone in 2026 costs around $1,200. The phone you already have, if it is a few years old, runs every app you use at a speed you cannot meaningfully distinguish from the new one in daily use. The camera improvements between generations have become so incremental that most people would not notice the difference in their actual photos. Yet the upgrade cycle pulls people in every 2 years or sometimes every year, creating an ongoing drain of $600 or more annually just in depreciation and upgrade costs. The smarter move is buying a refurbished phone that is 1 or 2 generations behind the current release. You get excellent performance at roughly half the price. This same principle applies to laptops, tablets, and televisions. Technology from 3 years ago is still genuinely excellent technology. Chasing the newest version is mostly a marketing victory, not a practical one. Number 7. Expensive weddings. This one requires some sensitivity because weddings are deeply personal, and nobody should feel judged for how they choose to celebrate one of the most significant days of their life. But the financial reality is worth understanding clearly. The average American wedding now costs around $35,000 for a single day. Research from Emory University found that couples who spend more on their weddings actually show higher rates of divorce than couples who keep costs modest. The wedding industry has become extraordinarily effective at emotional pricing. The same photographer charges double for a wedding. The same flowers cost triple with the word wedding attached. The same venue doubles in price. You are not paying for better quality, you are paying for the category. If you have $35,000 in savings and spending it on a wedding, does not compromise your emergency fund, your retirement contributions, or your ability to handle unexpected costs, spend it however you want. But if that money is going on credit cards or wiping out savings you cannot afford to lose, you are trading long-term security for one day of celebration. The marriage is what matters. The party is optional. Number 8. Travel that exceeds your financial reality. Travel has genuine value. Seeing different places, experiencing different cultures, stepping outside your daily routine. These things matter and they contribute to a meaningful life. The problem is not travel itself. The problem is travel funded by debt for people who cannot actually absorb the cost. Airfares have risen dramatically since 2019. A family Disney vacation now averages $8,000 to $10,000 for a week. For someone earning $50,000 annually, that is approaching a quarter of their take-home pay for 7 days. When that expense goes on a credit card and gets paid off over a year at high interest rates, you are still paying for a vacation long after the tan has faded. Budget travel delivers most of the genuine benefit at a fraction of the cost. Road trips, national parks, renting a simple place through a home-sharing app, cooking some of your own meals. The experience is still rich and the financial hangover does not follow you home. Number 9. Buy now, pay later financing. This is one of the less obvious ones, and it is doing serious damage to a lot of people right now. Services that let you split purchases into 4 easy payments have made it psychologically easier to buy things you would not have bought if you had to pay all at once. That is not an accident. That is the entire design. Your brain processes $50 4 times as much more manageable than $200, even though it is identical. Research shows that people using these services spend significantly more than they would have otherwise, and nearly 40% have missed at least one payment, triggering fees that turn free financing into expensive debt. The principle here is old but still accurate. If you cannot afford to pay for something outright, a payment plan does not make it affordable. It makes it feel affordable while costing you more in the long run. Financing a household appliance that will last years might occasionally make sense. Financing clothing or takeout or small consumer purchases is borrowing from your future self to buy things your present self wants right now. Number 10. Branded products. A name brand bottle of laundry detergent often costs nearly double what the store brand equivalent costs. Consumer testing organizations have repeatedly found that store brand products match or outperform name brands in most everyday categories. Over-the-counter medications with the same active ingredient at the same dosage cost half as much in generic form as they do under a recognized brand name. The premium you pay for branded household goods, cleaning products, food staples, and medications goes almost entirely toward funding advertising campaigns that convince you the premium is justified. It is circular and expensive. Switching to store brands and generics across your regular household purchases can realistically save you $1,500 to $2,500 annually without any meaningful reduction in what you actually receive. That is a significant number for a change that requires almost no effort beyond reading the label. Number 11. Subscription boxes. The subscription box industry has grown into a multi-billion-dollar market built on a single psychological insight. People love surprises. The anticipation of opening a mystery package triggers genuine excitement, and that feeling keeps people subscribed long after the practical value of the box has stopped making sense. Most subscription boxes cost between $25 and $50 a month for products that would cost less than that if you bought them directly. The margin exists because you are paying for the curation and the surprise experience, not for the products themselves. The companies also know that cancellation friction, meaning the slightly annoying process of actually stopping the subscription, keeps a meaningful percentage of subscribers paying for months after they lost interest. If you are genuinely enjoying a subscription box and you have consciously decided it is worth the cost, that is a reasonable personal choice. But if there are boxes piling up or products sitting unused, you are paying a recurring premium for something that stopped serving you, and inertia is the only thing keeping the charges going. Number 12. Daily premium coffee drinks. Let us close with the one that gets the most resistance but also makes the most dramatic mathematical point. A specialty coffee drink at a major chain costs $7 to $9 in most cities right now. A cup of coffee made at home with quality beans costs somewhere between 25 cents and $1. The daily premium coffee habit runs somewhere around $2,000 a year when you do the actual math. The same caffeine delivered at home costs under $200 annually. The difference is not just $1,800 in a single year. Invested consistently over 30 years at a reasonable return rate, that gap compounds into something in the range of $200,000. $250,000 is the potential long-term cost of a daily habit that most people have never sat down and consciously evaluated. This does not mean coffee shops are bad or that you should never enjoy one. Coffee shops sell atmosphere, community, and a moment of calm as much as they sell the drink itself. The question is whether you have made a deliberate choice or whether it is just something that happens automatically every morning before your brain is fully awake. Here is the thread that connects all 12 of these things. None of them are inherently wrong. Some of them have real value under the right circumstances and at the right frequency. What makes them financially dangerous is when they become unconscious habits, when the spending just happens automatically because it always has, without anyone stopping to ask whether the cost still makes sense given what you actually receive. The economy in 2026 is not the same economy from 5 years ago. Prices have risen across nearly every category faster than wages have kept pace. That means the same spending patterns that felt reasonable before are now doing more damage. The companies and platforms behind most of these categories are sophisticated. They have invested enormous resources in making sure their products feel essential, convenient, and worth it. Your advantage is the ability to step back and do the math they do not want you to do. Even redirecting 2 or 3 of these categories can free up $5,000 to $10,000 a year. Invested consistently over a career, that kind of money becomes genuinely life-changing. Not because of one dramatic decision, but because of a series of small, clear-eyed ones made repeatedly over time. The goal here is never to tell you what to enjoy or how to live. It is simply to make sure the spending you do is something you chose with full awareness of what it costs and what it actually delivers in return. Money spent consciously on things that genuinely matter to you is never wasted. Money that disappears into habits you never examined is a different story entirely. If this video gave you something useful to think about, subscribe for more content like this. We break down real financial concepts in ways that are practical, honest, and built for the world we are actually living in right now, not the one from 10 years ago. Hit that subscribe button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and we will see you in the next one.